Hello friends. So class just started probably like 3 days ago. Well, actually, let me not tell you a lie. Today is Monday. Classes started last Tuesday. So whatever that number of days is, whatever, y'all know what I'm talking about. So class started last week and I just wanted to get on here and give y'all a little update because y'all, these classes have done a whole 360. Like, I don't know how to go about it. Like, I know how to go about it, but I'm just so shocked because I did not think that I would like these classes that much. Like, obviously I thought that I would like getting the masters, but I just did not, I wasn't expecting this. I guess I could say I just was not expecting this. So let me just tell y'all what I got going on. So let me tell y'all what's been going on in the healthcare administration world. And I told y'all in one of my other videos that I was really excited about my medical sociology class. I was right, okay? This class is barely even started and I already am like, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna learn a lot in this class. So let me just tell y'all what we've had already. So for week 1, we had a lecture, we had readings, we had a journal entry, and we had class introductions, which is like normal for like the beginning of school or whatever. So for the journal entry, we had to read the first chapter in our book that we're reading. And I didn't even know that we were reading this book, okay? I didn't even know because I'm not gonna lie, I did this assignment like later than I would normally do an assignment. So when I finally opened it, I was like, oh, okay, well, let's go ahead and talk about it then. We're reading a book called Black Man in White Coat, A Doctor's Reflection on Race in Medicine. And y'all, when I tell y'all this book, I haven't read the whole thing. Obviously, I've only read the first part, but this book is like the real deal. Like, it's essentially like a Black doctor recounting his experiences from when he was trying to get into med school, when he did get into med school, and his experiences going through medical school, and then after when he became a doctor. And y'all, it addresses everything. Like, it has addressed so much so far. It's addressing like some of his insecurities that he had going through the application process, and some of the insecurities he had even when he got into his medical school. It addressed his feelings of inadequacy, feeling like he didn't belong. It addressed his experiences with like racial remarks from professors and from peers and all that stuff. Like, it addresses all that stuff. And so this is the book that we are writing all of our journals on. So we had to read that first chapter and then write a journal. So on the journal, all we had to do was, you know, read it, just let this be a space for you to say how you feel, what resonated with you, yada yada yada. In my journal entry, I essentially just put kind of like a quote from the book that stood out to me, and the quote was, "Racial insults, big and small, were a part of our lives, and sometimes humor was the best way to deal with it." That was a sentence that directly followed his experience with a professor. And just to kind of give you a little bit of backstory on what happened with his professor, basically he was studying in his professor's lecture hall, and his professor walked in and he was like, "Are you here to fix the lights?" Asking him essentially if he worked there. And whenever he said no, the professor said, "Well, what are you doing in my class then?" And if you are a person of color, or if you can at least just think about what that statement might mean to somebody who already feels inadequate, to somebody who already feels like they're in a space that isn't created for them, somebody that already feels like they don't belong, just imagine how that feels coming from your professor, a person who's going to be grading your papers and grading your tests and all of these things, somebody who potentially was supposed to be somebody you could go to for guidance or look up to, has already casted you in this light. It's just like crazy. So whenever he had this experience, he took the experience and he explained what happened to some of his other black classmates. He explained it to them. And then whenever he explained it, they kind of essentially just laughed it off and were making like cracking jokes about it. So that's why he said racial insults, big and small, were a part of our lives. And sometimes humor was the best way to deal with it. And that resonated with me because, you know, we are just so accustomed to these disrespectful and these demeaning words. Not to say we don't let it bother us, but we kind of just brush it off because we know that speaking out about it could outcast us even more than we already are. So it's just like, that is a sentence that I was just like, you know what, that is so freaking true. Like, that resonated with me so much because we do laugh a lot. We do laugh about a lot of stuff. We do brush a lot of stuff off because we don't feel like we're in a space where we can express how we feel. We don't feel like we're in a space where, even if we did express how something that somebody else said made us feel, we don't feel like that we're in a space where it would even matter or that it would benefit us, because most of the time it does end up working against us instead of working for us whenever we do speak out about issues regarding race, which is so crazy. But you know, that's the world we live in. Whatever. I just brushed it off again. So that was the first journal for medical sociology. So whenever she popped out the gate with that, I was like, oh snap, like this woman is serious. Like, she's getting to the nitty gritty, okay? And you know, a lot of her assignments are centered around stuff like this. You know, looking through her syllabus, she has a lot of great topics that I feel like are going to be so fun to learn about. Social stress, health behavior, medical education, the socialization of physicians. We have another assignment that's a case study that's due, I want to say, at the end of this week. And the case study question is, should COVID-19 vaccinations be mandated in order to do certain activities such as travel? Why or why not? And that is just shaking the table, child. That is just shaking the table. But you know what? Like, it's the questions that we should know how to answer, because whether we know it or not, or whether we think about it or not, all the big decisions that are being made, like you have to wear a mask out in public, or you have to be vaccinated against the measles, all those big decisions are being made by healthcare professionals somewhere, by healthcare and public health professionals somewhere. A team of professionals are making these decisions. So if we're gonna enter into this realm, not only do we have to solidify a stance on these things, but we also have to back that stance up with facts and proof that our stance is the best for the community. Like, you have to be able to do that, because at the end of the day, whenever shit does hit the fan, like whenever a pandemic happens or whatever the case may be, somebody has to call the shots. Or I'm not just gonna put it on one person, but some people, there are people somewhere who have to figure out, okay, what are we gonna do to minimize this? What are we gonna do to minimize the spread? What are we gonna do to minimize the risk? Like, some people somewhere are the people making these decisions, and this is the world that we're entering into when we enter into healthcare administration, because these are the people that are kind of collaborating with other professionals and making these decisions. Now, of course, everybody that works in healthcare administration isn't gonna be making decisions like this, of course, because some people are going to be working in administration on a smaller scale at a local hospital or at a local clinic. But even at a local hospital or a local clinic, you're going to have to make decisions for the entire clinic or for the entire hospital or for the floor, wherever you work, that you're going to have to defend. You're going to have to defend the decision that you made, and you're going to have to explain why you made the decision that you did. And I feel like asking us critical questions like this kind of helps us start thinking in that way of, like, you're going to have to make these hard decisions, and some people are not going to like you for it. But at the end of the day, that's your job, and you have to make a decision and stick beside it. Like, it is what it is at the end of the day. So I'm excited to do this assignment for medical sociology. We also have like more readings and stuff to do, but yeah, medical sociology is definitely impressing me. But also, I'm in another class called Principles of Management and Leadership in Healthcare. And this class ain't disappointed me yet either. The discussion post, I'm pretty sure, was like, explain, you know, what your healthcare background is and how you think your healthcare background will help you going into this field. And then our second discussion post, because that one is posted here, is actions speak louder than words. It's a common refrain. So it is with your leadership action. The extent to which your actions are consistent with your words determines your personal credibility. And the extent to which your actions are consistent with shared values determines your leadership credibility. You need to ensure there is alignment between words and deeds. As a leader, what can you do to demonstrate the importance of shared values with your team members, colleagues, and management? Brainstorm 2 or 3 actions you can take to show your commitment to your values. Actions might include how you spend time, how you deal with critical incidents, the stories you tell, or the way you ask questions and express yourself. I love it. I haven't answered this yet, and this is actually my first time reading this on camera right now, but I love these questions that they're asking. I feel like they're so relevant to what we're doing. Like, not to say that in college things that we were doing weren't relevant, but it's just, I feel like these classes are like, every single class is relevant to what we're going to be doing, and the teachers are asking questions that are definitely going to help us become better leaders. And I like that and I enjoy that. Last semester I was like, whoo, y'all are killing me with all this math. Y'all are killing me with the statistics and the finance and all that stuff. Like, that's not really what I'm trying to get into. But these questions right here, these questions that are helping people become better leaders, are important because some people go into things that involve managerial skills or leadership skills, and they don't even know how to interact with people. It's so confusing. It's kind of like when there are people that go to medical school who like are super smart, have the grades and everything, like probably have straight A's, 4.2 GPA, like everything, but literally can barely hold a conversation or make a person comfortable when they're talking to them. Yes, you may have the brains and the smarts to go into something, but me personally, whenever I go see a doctor, the main thing that I'm focusing on is relatability. Like, how the doctor's talking to me, if she's friendly, if she can really listen to me and understand what I'm saying and not just brush it under the table just because I'm not a doctor. There are some doctors that dismiss the things you're saying. I'm probably gonna listen to the doctor that I can resonate with, that is friendly, that listens to my concerns and actually cares about what I'm saying, as opposed to the doctor that just comes in spewing all these medical terms at me, spewing all of these facts at me, these statistics, these this, these that, basically talking a bunch of science to me and not really like trying to understand what's going on with me and what brought me in. Probably not gonna resonate with that doctor a whole lot. But the relatable doctor, the doctor that has more people skills, more social skills, the doctor that has the ability to have compassion and understanding, that is the doctor that I'm probably going to come back and see, like, more than likely. So when people go into professions where they have to deal with the general public but have literally zero social skills whatsoever, that kind of throws me off. I'm not saying you have to be like the greatest leader in the world, because leadership skills can be built over time, but social skills are typically, you either social or you're not. You either are personable or you're not. Like, there typically is not really too much of an in-between. So this question to me is just great. It's teaching you, it's trying to get you to understand that you have to be credible, you have to be dependable, you know, you have to build relationships amongst your team members, amongst your colleagues. They have to be able to trust you just as much as you have to be able to trust them. And, you know, it's kind of forcing you to outline, you know, how are you going to navigate those relationships? How are you going to navigate those relationships and put yourself in a position where you can lead them comfortably and they can be comfortable being led by you? Essentially, that's what that question is meaning to me. So y'all, I'm so excited about these classes. Like, these classes are awesome. The stuff we're learning about is awesome. I knew that as soon as I got past the math classes, I would be good. And it is just like been a whole 360 going into these classes as opposed to the finance classes. Not gonna lie. So I wanted to make this video just to give you guys a little bit of a taste of what you might be getting into whenever you go into a healthcare administration program. So hopefully watching this video makes you excited about healthcare administration and going into a healthcare administration program. If it doesn't excite you, then maybe this isn't the field that you want to go in necessarily, or maybe this isn't the realm that you want to go into. The sociology and the leadership and the true admin aspect of it is really what I'm interested in. So this could not be the realm of healthcare administration for you. I know there are a bunch of different things you can go into with the healthcare administration degree, like so many. There are so many different areas and little niches in healthcare administration. It's just crazy. So I'm definitely going to update y'all again later on, friends, and just know that we're off to a really good start. Okay, yay, off to a really good start, y'all. I'm excited. Any questions you guys have down below about my classes or about the program, as far as specific questions like what are some entry-level careers in healthcare administration, y'all are gonna have to work with me on that one, because I literally just got into this master's program 2 months ago. So I literally just started my healthcare administration journey, so we're kind of going to be learning together for a while. But I will say I am looking for an entry-level healthcare administration job right now, so I can't update you guys on that journey, and I'll update you guys if I am able to find a job where I can get some more hands-on experience. And that'd be even more awesome, because then I can show you guys and then we can vlog and stuff like that. So stay tuned with me, you guys. I will see you guys in the next video. XOXO.